This is the new Chery Tiggo 7. It's a good car and fabulous value for money. However, you probably shouldn't buy it. And I'm going to explain why. I'm Matt Watson, you're watching CarWow. Visually, the Tiggo 7 is a little bit like a wedding band because it does covers of lots of different other cars. The grille and the headlights, like that, of an Audi Q7. Then this chrome strip running across the roof and the roof bar are like a Vauxhall Grandland X. This part of it is like a Lexus LBX. Then if you look at these bits at the rear, remind me of a BMW X6, and that continues inside because the dash is like the old X6 and the infotainment screens are like the new X6, and finally they're keeping the German theme going with a door panel which is very similar to a Mercedes. Yeah, overall it looks fine, but it doesn't look quite as cool as the JQ7. I think JQ just kept it simple. They copied one car, the Range Rover, and it did the job. You can get this car with a 1.6 litre turbo petrol with 147 horsepower, or as a 1.5 litre plug-in hybrid with 204 horsepower. Can you guess what this car is? Any ideas? It's very subtle. Now this better be quick because bizarrely it's making some bold claims. Look, never seen this on a car before. Performance there, and on the other side there. So is it quick? Let's find out. I'm going to time it from 0 to 60 miles an hour. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, floor it. That was a massive delay off the line. But it's going now and it's pulling quite hard. Now, this car should do 0 to 60 according to Chery in 8.5 seconds. I've got it at 7.35 seconds. That's really quite quick. Hopefully it stops as well. Okay, here we go. Brake test from 60 miles an hour, full emergency stop. It needs to stop in around 35 metres. Let's find out what it's going to do. Cruising for a stop. That felt good. 34 metres, impressive. However, not everything is impressive about this car. The Chinese are masters at building cars that make you look at them and go, looks quite expensive. How did they build it so cheaply? But if you look closely, the car does betray itself. I've not seen a car where you can see the exhaust from the side like that, apart from maybe G-Wagon, though that's a styling thing, that isn't. Then some of the trim doesn't fit properly. Look at that, it's not snug. And if you look really closely, look at this. It's like it's not finished. It's almost as if it's been in a rear end shunt. It hasn't. It's the same on the other side. This is how they come out the factory. But this is the worst thing. Watch this. Look at the boot when I shut the door. It's moving. What's that all about? And then there's a noise from the motors, and not the motors you're thinking about either.
For instance, how noisy is this blind?
There's the electric windows. Those motors are really noisy. That's the worst one. Listen to this. Not great. There are some other annoying things about this car. For instance, the rear wiper. Look at the size of that. Tiny. Oh. There's another area they've cheaped out. You can see that it doesn't really give you much swept area, so when your rear window's dirty, you've only got that space to look through. Also, the boot doesn't open particularly high, does it? Look at this. It's at maximum height and ouch, and I'm not very tall either. Also, white paint, that's the only standard colour. Everything else you have to pay for. Also, there's no separate guides for the rear seat belt, so when you fold them down this happens, and then sometimes it gets snagged like that. Happened to me yesterday, I got cross. Also, there's not quite enough reach adjustment in the steering wheel. It's actually fully extended. Look, it needs to go further. And then the infotainment screen is just a little bit too far away, so you have to lean forward to be able to operate it. And sometimes when you've got your seatbelt on and you're like, oh, you see what's going to happen now. You go, you go, you go, you go. I can't make it do it. It did it the other day, but now it won't. There we go. I can't reach it.
Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this.
The Chinese are fully aware they're a bit overzealous, and that's why they allow you to turn off the safety function super quick. Look, you just swipe down like that, and then I can turn off the electronic parking brake. Also, while you're there, you can quickly turn off your speed sign recognition bongs and your attention assist. Goodbye, leave me alone, thank you. Also, unlike with other hybrids, you don't have to press a button to turn them off. You get out, automatically cuts. So you're never in that weird situation when you walk away from the car and you try to lock it, it goes, I'm still on. And when you get in again, You don't have to press a button, you just, there we go, foot on brake. Yeah, obviously put your seatbelt on. Put it into drive. Oh, obviously it's safety conscious, we've got to shut the door. And now we should be able to go. Yeah. The top spec car has a surround view camera system, which you'd expect to find on something German look, so you can look all around the car, put it into 3D mode. Fun fact, they don't have their Cherry logo on the grille, so you can really pretend it's an Audi, can't you? And I like this. Let's say you're driving along, or I'm driving along, I'm indicating left. There you get this image, so it gives you an idea of what's in your blind spot, and that's what's happening on the right hand side. Nice. There's 50-watt mobile phone charging. When I put my phone in, it should say fast charging. Come on, do it. And, can you hear this noise? Can you hear it? Hear that? It's cooling while it charges. I also like this feature. Love this. As someone who enjoys a takeaway and is always worried about it spinning the inside of his car, this is a really handy hook to just hang your takeaway bag off. This plug-in hybrid has some great stats. So on electric power it can do 56 miles. Unlike other plug-in hybrids, you actually get DC charging, so it can charge up to 40 kilowatts, which is pretty fast for a PHEV. And that's not all. Chery says it'll manage over 235 miles per gallon. However, just like with other plug-in hybrids, you should take that with a huge pinch of salt. As Chery is new in the UK, it has an unproven reliability track record, but not to worry, the car comes with 7 years, 100,000 miles worth of warranty. Thing is, you don't get the sense you're going to need a warranty because this car feels solid and well built. Look at this. It doesn't wobble, there's no creaks or squeaks. And things are nicely damped, like that. Feels good. Yeah, that's good as well. And yes, the dash design is very much like a BMW, and so is the screen. But the switches actually feel more expensive in the way they're damped than the very latest BMWs. However, does this thing drive like a BMW? Spoiler, no. It's already beeping and bonging at me. Cross about that. The Chery Tiggo 7 is a car that drives perfectly fine, but also not particularly well. And what I mean by that is that for most people, most of the time, they'll get in this and go, it's okay, I can live with that, especially considering how much it doesn't cost. However, if you're really into cars, someone like me, then you do notice its shortcomings. The suspension can be a bit jiggly over bumps, yet at the same time, when you chuck it into a corner, it does lean quite a bit in the bends. And then there's a steering which just doesn't feel like it's connected to the front wheels, because no matter how much lock you put on, the resistance is always the same. I'll tell you what's not always the same: the amount of response you get from the throttle pedal. You can press it a certain amount and you'll get some kind of acceleration. Press it the same amount again and you get a different kind of acceleration. It's odd and unpredictable, and the car doesn't do exactly what you expect it's going to. But that only matters when you're really pushing it. And it's only when you're really pushing it that you realise that, the Chinese have basically done just about as much as they need to in terms of developing the driving dynamics, and certainly not one moment more. So this is a car I would recommend for people who aren't that into driving and just want to go from A to B. If you are into driving, look elsewhere, like a Nissan Qashqai. And you can see my full in-depth video review of that car by following the link in the description, or by clicking on the pop-out banner or scanning the QR code on screen now. And there's some great offers on Nissan Qashqais through CarWow at this moment. Also, I think the quality control at Nissan is probably slightly better, and I'll show you why now. Have a look at this. There's a chip out the badge, but that's underneath the plastic cover. And I just noticed this. The background here is slightly different. It's actually a wrap. You can see the seam there. Do you know what? Nick pointed out that this car is a little bit like a new build house. So when you first look at it, you're like, wow, this is great. But then when you start paying attention to it and go looking around a bit, you end up with quite a long snagging list. However, unlike a new build house, this car is actually quite spacious. So here in the back, headroom is good, knee room is good, foot space is good. Under the thigh support, could be better. You've got a flat floor, which is handy if you need to carry 3 at once, because, come on Lewis, jump in. With 3 in the back, it's sort of tight, but okay. I think that a Kia Sportage is a bit roomier in the back, and if you want to see my full in-depth video review of that, then just click up over Nick's head or scan the QR code over Lewis's face. You look better as a QR code, Lewis, by the way.
Cheers.
And now let's get out. And what's interesting about this is there's some cheap plastics here in the back. That is really cheap. That feels like a prototype, and this here is cheap as well. I don't know why, but it's going to be kids in the back. They're going to have their mobile devices, and yet you give them a single old-fashioned USB. Not ideal. If you're carrying really young children, you've got your ISOFIX anchor points there, and I fit a child seat to it. It's actually all right, though. The bulky ones are a bit more problematic because of the way that pops out there like that. Underneath here, you've got 2 cup holders, and that brings you onto cubbies in the front. There's lots of storage space in here, and it's cooled from the air conditioning. You've got 2 cup holders there. Underneath here, look, there's more storage in there. And then here you've got a decent sized glove box. And the door bins can hold a large bottle. While I'm here, I'm going to show you the infotainment system. So the graphics are clear, the colours are bright, but it's a little bit laggy. However, I like the fact that Android Auto is widescreen, which is good. And look, if I want to go into the main menu, I can just hit that and go back to the normal menu. You can see the climate controls there, but there's also this panel here which you can use. So this one does the temperature and this one does the fan. Though I don't know what those 3 buttons for there. I'd like them to be the home setting, but they don't seem to do anything. The boot capacity is also pretty decent. So if you have this hybrid, it's 480 litres. And I like this. Underneath here, they have these cutouts for your cables, so you don't have to have an annoying charging bag loose in the car. But if you need more space, get the petrol. It's got 570 litres of space. Right, you can remove the load cover quite easily, but there's nowhere to store it in this hybrid, unfortunately. You do have 12-volt socket there and some hookage action here as well. But that is the functionality really of the boot. Fold down the rear seats, just give it a bit of that up, and you get fairly continuous low bed. So it's generally really practical, this car, and it's also quite a lot of space for the money. The Chery Tiggo 7 starts from £25,000, which is £4,000 less than a Volkswagen Golf. You don't want that entry-level petrol though, you want the plug-in hybrid, and you want it in top spec, because then you get the extra performance and all the kit you want, such as a panoramic glass roof that opens, heated front seats, which are an absolute must in a car like this, and a Sony stereo system with speaker covers like in a posh Mercedes. Top spec and fully loaded, this car costs £33,000, only it doesn't, because if you buy it through CarWow, you can save an average of £3,000 off it right now. So if you're thinking about changing your car, make sure you browse the latest offers on CarWow. So you might be thinking, wait a minute, Matt, at the beginning you said you shouldn't buy this car, and I stand by that. And here's why. Really, if you're going to buy one of these cars, you're better off spending a little bit extra and getting the Chery Tiggo 8, because it comes with 7 seats and it feels a bit more luxurious inside. Also, there's not much in it in terms of pricing if you lease them, and leasing is actually cheaper over 3 years. If you want to compare all those costs, I'll put a link in the description and the pinned comment. And actually, if you scan the QR code, you can go on CarWow and see how I've worked out the maths. And then there's another issue. You might be thinking, actually, I don't need 7 seats, so why go for the Tiggo 8? Well, fair enough, but I still wouldn't go for the Tiggo 7. I would instead choose the JQ7, because it's pretty much the same car underneath, and it looks a lot better. Then there's always the option of upgrading by going used. For instance, I found this 3-year-old 30,000 mild Audi Q5 hybrid on CarWow for £29,000. Now, if you are buying a used car, you do need to do a car vertical history check on it to make sure it hasn't got a problem. The one on CarWow obviously was clean, but that's not always the case, because here is an example of a car vertical history check on an Audi Q5 that has a dodgy past. This one, oh dear, it's got dodgy mileage and it's been crashed. Nice. So if you're thinking about buying a used car, make sure you do a car vertical history check. You can use the link in the description of this video, and make sure you use the code CARWOW for 20% off. You're welcome. So, Chery Tiggo 7, it's a decent enough car and it's great value for money. So too though is the JQ7, and it looks better, and if you need more space, just get the Chery Tiggo 8.
First sight, I never believed. When I saw you for the first time, I changed my mind. Your eyes and your smile are a fantasy. I need